Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. On behalf of ISKCON Toronto, I would like to warmly welcome you to this Sunday Feast program. Today is June 28, 2020. It's a Sunday, and we are going to have very special series of events starting 1st of July up to the 12th of July, where we are going to have virtual Rath Yatra. As you know, due to COVID-19, unfortunately, we will not be able to have the actual Rath Yatra where we'll be going to Center Island as we do every year. But this year is going to be virtual Rath Yatra from July 1st to July 12th. Every day during the weekdays, there's going to be programs in the evening, and there's going to be a whole day event during the weekends as well. So for more information, please log on to ISKCON Toronto's website. And a very special day is 5th of July, where Snan Yatra is going to take place as well. And today's class is being broadcast live through Facebook as well as through YouTube. And if you have any questions or comments, please add your comments or questions in the comment section in the Facebook. Now, for more information, there's going to be a teaser about this upcoming virtual Rath Yatra that is going to take place from July 1st to 12th. There's going to be a 1-minute video clip that will be played now so that you'll get a little bit more information. Hare Krishna.
Are you coming?
You never know.
I doubt.
Are you coming?
Doesn't look like it.
Is it happening this year?
I don't know.
I don't know.
I don't know, man.
I don't know.
I feel so uncertain.
Hare Krishna. So again, on behalf of ISKCON Toronto, I would like to welcome each one of you to this Sunday Feast program. We are having this virtual class. And as you saw the trailer of this upcoming virtual Rath Yatra that is going to take place between July 1st and 12th, we're all excited and hope you can join us every day. And for more information, please refer to our ISKCON Toronto website. There'll be all the information that you will need. Hare Krishna. So today, in light of this upcoming virtual Rath Yatra, the topic that we have chosen is Jagannatha, Lord of Sweet Exchanges. So that's the topic that we have chosen today, so we can get used to the greatness of Lord Jagannatha. And before we get started, Om Ajnanatirmirandasya Gyananjana Shalakaya Chakshurunmilitamena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. I was born in the darkness of ignorance, and my spiritual master opened my eyes with the torchlight of knowledge. I offer my respectful obeisances unto him and to all the members of Guru Parampara. Vancha kalpatarubhyascha kripa sindhubhya eva cha patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namaha. I offer my respectful obeisances unto all the Vaishnava devotees of the Lord who are just like desired trees, fulfilling the desires of everyone and are full of compassion for the fallen, conditioned souls. Hare Krishna. So we're very grateful and thankful to each one of you for giving us your valuable time and association. And today we will hear about many pastimes of Lord Jagannath, because he's the Lord of sweet exchanges. So hearing, so that's what we're going to do today. So why hear? So even from material standpoint, we would like to hear some of the past activities from our own life, or about a person who we really like, or about a sports team that we really like, or about our marriage that took place long time back, many years ago, or from our school events that where we were 30 years ago. So we like to hear those. So anything that interests us is about the topic and about the person that we are interested in. So it takes us down the trip of this memory lane. So we are connected from the present to the past through this bridge of hearing. So even when we were not there physically, in some cases, we would like to hear because the topic interests us a lot. So we may have been married 20 years ago, but when somebody like our parents start talking about the details of few days before the marriage and during the marriage, we're all interested in hearing what had happened many years ago. Similarly, when old students get together and they start discussing about what had happened 30 years ago in school, they're all excited and they all participate in that conversation and they're all excited about that. And also, sports fans especially, they love to hear about some great things about their favorite team. It could be the basketball team. For those of you or most of you who are from Toronto Raptors, 2019 NBA Finals. They won the championship for the very first time. So it's very exciting. They talk about what happened in Game 2, Game 3, in the previous games, etc. So it excites them to hear about the past. Similarly, Toronto Maple Leaf fans, when they talk about hockey, they talk about how they won, the team won 13 Stanley Cup finals. And even if they were not there when the team won the first Stanley Cup finals, they like to hear and talk about those details. Same thing with baseball fans, we have Blue Jays. And even though Blue Jays only won once, 1992-93 season, the fans like to talk about that. Indian cricket fans, we can go on and on. 1983 World Cup when India won the Prudential Cup in Lords, and how, so-and-so did, Kapil Dev scored 175 not out in Tunbridge Wells, and how India won that game against West Indies, which was unprecedented. So, sports fans like to talk about the past, how India won the 2011 World Cup in Wankhede Stadium, and Dhoni and Gambhir, how they scored, etc. So we like to hear about past in material standpoint. We like to hear about something that has happened in the past that interests us. So similarly, when it comes to spiritual topics, it not only interests us when we hear about Supreme Personality of Godhead and his devotees, it not only makes us feel good, but more importantly, it purifies and removes our miseries. That's what the scriptures tell us. And, we see that when we sit and hear the classes at that time, we're not thinking about our arthritis pain or the bills that need to be paid. So hearing takes us from the present to the past through this bridge of hearing. So it's like almost we're struggling in the water, unable to swim, and then there is this rope coming from an helicopter, and we're able to catch that and go to safety. So through this connection from the present to the past, we are saved when we hear about the glories of the Lord and the Lord's devotees as well. So when we hear, we are absorbed in that. Because of that, there is attraction. Because of that, there is attachment, and then eventually there is association. So that's what happens when we keep on hearing. And from material standpoint, we can think of it, right? So we want the latest and the greatest iPhone, and we don't have it. Maybe we cannot afford it for the time being, but when our friends and family members keep glorifying how great it is, eventually we will get that. Just by hearing, we will be able to get that. And it is also said that from the scriptures we can read how Rukmini, who's the first or principal queen of Lord Krishna. We know Krishna has many queens, 16,108, and 8 are principal queens. And we have Rukmini and Jambavati, and we have so many eight principal queens are there. Last 8 is Lakshmana. And here, Rukmini has never seen Krishna, but she is hearing all the glories of Lord Krishna from great saints and sages. Just by hearing, she was so keen on eventually getting the association of Lord Krishna. And that's how she attained Lord Krishna, just by hearing about Lord Krishna. Similarly, the wives of Brahmana. So we read about Rukmini's pastime in the 10th canto, 52nd to 54th chapter. Similarly, the wives of Brahmanas, in the pastime in the 23rd chapter, the wives have never seen Lord Krishna, but they're just hearing the glories of Lord Krishna. So hearing is so important, and that's what we're talking before we hear the pastimes of Lord Jagannath. Just by hearing, the wives of Lord Krishna, even wives of of the Brahmanas, eventually were able to attain Lord Krishna. So they were very fortunate with that. So hearing increases our faith and eventually makes us fearless. So that's important. In times like this, we are fearful of many things. So many things are uncertain. So when we are hearing more and more about the glories of the Lord, about the interaction of the Lord with the devotees, then it gives us more and more faith, and because of that, we become fearless. So it's very important that we need to understand that Lord is moved by faith and not by our Christ. So we have to be in the faith zone and not just in the safe zone, because the medium of exchange with God is his faith. So it's important that we have a faith in what we hear about the Lord. And it is said that we get this opportunity to hear about the Lord so that we can unlock the faith that we have. We can stir up the faith. We can activate and ignite the faith in whatever way we can, because that's our only hope. So we need to have more and more faith. So let's activate and ignite the faith that we have. So Jagannath. So Jagannath, the English word Jagannatha comes from Lord Jagannath, which means irresistible or inexorable force. Inexorable force means that that cannot be stopped at all. So it comes from the Lord Jagannath because many thousands of years ago, the power of this charity, even now when we go, I was fortunate enough to be in Jagannath Puri. Some of us were fortunate enough in 2015. We've been to Jagannath Puri many times, but the first time we were there for the Rath Yatra was in 2015 when it was Navakalevara. So the deity were changed. It gets changed. The form of the deity from Neemud is changed once between, you would say, average is 12 years, but it can go up to 19 years. So last time it was changed was in year 2015 when the deities were actually changed. And you can see the force of these chariots when they move along. And it is said that many years ago, it was so powerful, and somebody falls, it just crushes everything. But literally, this inexorable force that cannot be stopped, or what it crushes is our miseries. So Jagannath, Baladev, and Subhadra, what they crush is our miseries. And the English word Jagannatha comes from Jagannath, Lord Jagannath. And Lord appears in many forms. So we know from one of the Puranas, Padma Purana, that there are 8.4 million species of life. Now that doesn't mean that there are a total of 8.4 million, by count, because even just by human beings, we know that there are about 8 billion human beings that we know that is on Earth itself. So 8.4 million species is totally individual, unique species. So it is said that there are 900,000 species of aquatics. Then we have 2 million species of plants, 1.1 million species of insects, 1 million species of birds, 3 million species of beasts, and 400,000 species of human beings. And again, 400,000 species of human beings means based on different levels of consciousness. And it is said that even the demigods fall under this category of 400,000. So God is so merciful, Lord Krishna. He appears in each one of these 6 form or grouping. So we talked about aquatics. So Lord Krishna has appeared in the form of a fish, Matsya-avatar. We read from the 24th chapter of the 8th canto. Lord Krishna also appeared in the form of a tortoise. We again read from the 8th canto of Srimad Bhagavatam. So he appears in the form of aquatics. He appears in the form of plants or trees, because Lord Jagannath appears from wood, neem tree. So he so mercifully appears in the form of wood or tree. And he appears also in the form of insect. It is said there is an insect called Vajrakita, and it is supposed to have diamond teeth. And that Vajrakita insect is the one that actually carves out this Sudarshan chakra in each one of the Shaligram Shila. So we can't see that, but according to scriptures, that's Vajrakita. And in each one of these forms, so also Lord Krishna appears in the form of bird. In the 11th canto of Srimad Bhagavatam, we see how he appears in the form of Hamsa, the swan, and his teachings are there in the 11th canto of Srimad Bhagavatam. He also appears in the form of beasts. We know he appeared in the 3rd canto as boar avatar, and half man, half lion as well. He also appears in the form of horse, Hayagriva. And then, of course, the last category is human being in the form of human being. Doesn't mean that they're human beings. Lord Krishna in the form of human being, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, Lord Ramachandra, Prithu Maharaj, Parshuram, all of them appear in the form of human being, but not human being as we know. So the Lord appears in each one of those categories, and Lord Jagannatha appears in the form of a wood or tree as well, in the form of Lord Jagannath from name tree. And we can see that the form of Lord Jagannath is very unique. All of us know we are all devotees. So Lord Jagannath's appearance is very unique because he's got huge round eyes, circle, and he's got this broad smile, and he does not have legs, he does not have palms. It's two parallel arms that are stretched. Now our acharyas explained the two big round eyes is there to see even the smallest devotional service that we can do. He's able to spot that, and he's rewarding each one of us. So it's big eyes, and it's circle. In a circle, we don't know where is the beginning and where is the end. It's like Anadi Anantam, right? There's no beginning and unlimited forms of Lord Krishna. And for those of us who have studied geometry, we know that geometry, two parallel lines will never meet. It's unlimited. So the Lord's hands are unlimited to bless all of us. It'll never meet. Two parallel lines will never meet. So the arms are outstretched to show the unlimitedness of Lord Jagannath as well. So that's the beautiful form of Lord Jagannath, and also the universality is shown by Jagannath, Baladev, and Subhadra, because Jagannath is black in color, Baladev is white in color, and Subhadra, you can say brown or yellowish in color. So it comprises everyone. So that's Lord Jagannath, and it looks like it is an incomplete form, but it is not incomplete form, as we know. I'm going to pick up this sort of story from where we meet for today. We know there was a great king called Indradumna. He finds 3 logs of wood in the ocean, and then a carpenter comes by the name of Vishwakarma, but it is said that he's Lord Krishna, and he says, give me 21 days, I don't want any disturbance, and I'll bring out the Lord from the wood. And there was no sound after 15 days, and Indradumna's wife, actually her name is Gundicha. We have the Gundicha temple, and she says, oh, something is wrong, maybe he's dead, he was an old man, so we have to check. But she was told, no, we have to follow the instructions, nobody should go for 21 days. But she could not stay back, and they had to open, and then in 15 days, so there was no carpenter, and it looked that this form was incomplete, but actually it's a complete form of the Lord. And how do we know that is that from the scriptures we read that once all these 16,108 queens, they were always wondering why Lord Krishna is always meditating on his pastimes in Vrindavan when he was a little boy. Why is he always referring to Vrindavan? He goes into this ecstasy, he goes into this mood of him being in Vrindavan. So what is great? We've heard about it, but what is there? Something is there that keeps Krishna in that mood all the time. So they decided to talk to Rohini, who's the mother of Balaram, to get that information, because she's seen it all, whereas the queens were not there to see it in person. So, what mother says is, I will tell you more about the pastimes of Lord Krishna and Balaram in Vrindavan. But Mother Rohini said, but I don't want Lord Krishna and Balaram to hear this, because already they are in this mood and they always think about this. If they hear, they'll go into ecstasy again. I don't want them to hear this. So when they go to Sudharma hall, we will have a doorkeeper. We will have Subhadra as the doorkeeper, and she will keep an eye. She will put her hand out so that, Lord Krishna and Balaram don't come and hear this pastime again they will go into ecstasy. And then she started narrating all the pastimes. And of course, Lord Krishna knows past, present, and future, and he loves to hear these wonderful pastimes. That's why devotees read from Krishna book every night, because Lord Krishna loves to hear his pastime. So here, Lord Krishna and Balaram, they come, and everybody was engrossed in hearing these pastimes from Mother Rohini, and Subhadra is stretching her hand out to ensure that nobody comes, but she's also in ecstasy. And Lord Krishna and Balaram come, and they start hearing, and it is said how their palms went inside and their legs were inside. They were like tortoise. And at that time, Narada Muni appears, and he said, I've seen it. And then Krishna comes back to external consciousness, and Narada Muni prays, the feature that I saw, this wonderful feature of yours, all three of yours, we want other devotees also to have darshan of the same feature. And Lord Krishna promised, yes, I will be available in Puri in this form. So it's supposed to be, that's the origin of this wonderful form. It's a complete form of Lord Krishna, Balaram, and Subhadra. And it is confirmed through this pastime that we read from the scriptures. So Puri. So we heard about Jagannath. We heard Jagannath, the English word, and the form of Lord Krishna, how he appeared in each one of his main categories of 8.4 million species of life, and what his big eyes and his outstretched arms signify. And Puri is about 500 kilometers from Calcutta and about 80 kilometers from Bhubaneswar. And if you've seen the India map, you can say that Puri is in the eastern part of India, and if you draw a line to the west coast of India, almost you can say, in parallel to Mumbai. Right? Mumbai is in the shores of Arabian Sea in the west, and Jagannath Puri is in the eastern coast of India, next to Bay of Bengal. And Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, who's Lord Krishna himself, who appeared 534 years ago, stayed in Puri for the second half of his earthly pastime. So he enacted his pastimes for 48 years, and last 24 years he was in Puri. And especially the last 12 years, he did not even leave Puri. He was in Gambira. Gambira is one of the houses that is owned by Kashi Mishra, who's the spiritual master of Prataparudra. So he stayed in his room. So even today when we go, most of you would have been to Jagannath Puri. So if you go there, you'll be able to see his kamandalu, the water pot. You'll also be able to see his paduka, which is his shoes or slippers, and the quilt that his mother Sachi had given. So he spent last 12 years, out of the 24 years that he spent in Puri, last 12 years in Gambira, which is in Puri. We have Lord Jagannath there, and Chaitanya Mahaprabhu spent the last 24 years of his earthly pastimes there. And there's a beautiful pastime, because today we are discussing about Jagannath, Lord of Sweet Exchanges. And there's a beautiful pastime about Radha Kanta deity, so which is in Gambira, but it was in Jagannath Puri temple. So it's a fascinating pastime. Again, we'll touch base on many sweet exchanges of Lord. So it is said, we just heard about King Prataparudra. So King Prataparudra's father, he was also a king, and this Prataparudra's father went to a war. So he went to a war to Kanchipuram, and then he defeated the king of Kanchipuram. So this Purushottam Rai was the father of Prataparudra. So Purushottam Rai defeated the king of Kanchipuram. And for those of you who know, Kanchipuram, that's where Kanchi Kamachi temple is there. Also, you have Egambareswar temple. These are thousands and thousands of years old, these temples. And then we have Varadaraj Perumal temple. It's a very prominent temple. So here he defeated the king of Kanchipuram. And it's customary when you defeat a king, you get something which is most valuable from that place, or from the king who got defeated, you get as memento the most prized possession. When Britishers were there, it is said, they took a Kohinoor diamond and other precious thing when they went back, right? So here, Purushottam Rai took three most precious thing that was there in Kanchipuram under the possession of this king of Kanchi. And the three things were actually the three deities. One is Sakshi Gopal, second is Bada Ganesh, Big Ganesh, and the third is Radha Kanta deity. So three of these deities were proudly taken by Purushottam Rai, the father of King Prataparudra, back to Jagannath Puri. So Sakshi Gopal deity was installed 20 kilometers away from Jagannath Puri, which is there even today. And then Bada Ganesh temple deity is actually installed within the Jagannath Puri temple, and so was Radhakanta deity. So Radhakanta deity was also installed in Jagannath Puri temple premises itself. And it is said in due course of time, Lord Jagannath appeared. Lord Jagannath, we see many of these pastimes where Lord Jagannath actually appears in the dream of Pandas or the kings of Jagannath Puri. So he appeared in the dream of King Prataparutra, who's the son of Purushottam Rai, who actually got these three mementos. And he said, I want you to take the deity of Radhakanta away from the Jagannath Puri temple premises. So, they exchange conversation in the dream. It's not like one way. So the king had asked, why do we have to take? And Lord Jagannath said, because Radhakanta deity actually, when the boga is coming, he's selecting the best of boga and he's eating it before Lord Jagannath can even see what is there in the plate. So such a sweet pastime. So immediately Prataparutra contacted his spiritual master, and then who owned this Gambhira, Kashi Mishra, and then the deity was transferred from Jagannath Puri temple to Gambhira, which is not too far, but away, so that separate offering is made to Radhakanta deity, and of course separate offering to Lord Jagannath as well. So it reinforces the fact that if with love and devotion, when we offer our boga to the Lord will eat it. It's not that he will eat it. So that's the beautiful pastime about Radhakanta deity, and one of the pastimes of Jagannath, who's Lord of sweet exchanges, and also Lord Krishna is non-different from Lord Jagannath as well. And Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is also non-different from Lord Krishna, who's a combined incarnation of Srimati Radharani and Lord Krishna. So there is also this fascinating temple, wonderful temple called Tota Gopinath, which is not far from Jagannath Puri temple as well. So many of you would have gone there as well. So if you go there early in the morning at 7 o'clock, you'll see a golden streak on the right knee of Tota. Tota's, you can say it's like a garden. So Tota Gopinath, right knee, you have a golden streak, and the scriptures teaches that Chaitanya Mahaprabhu ended his earthly pastimes by entering into the knee of Tota Gopinath. But there is also another pastime which says that it was in the sea that he ended his pastime. But you can see early in the morning, 7 o'clock, quickly they will show you that golden streak in the right knee of Tota Gopinath. And again, how he appeared is fascinating. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's Lord Krishna himself, every day for 3 hours in Jagannath Puri, he used to hear Srimad Bhagavatam from Gadadhar Pandit, who's none other than an expansion of Srimati Radharani. So once when Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was hearing these glorious pastimes, and it is said, by the way, that he has heard Prahlad Maharaj's pastime, which is in the 7th canto, and Dhruva Maharaj's pastime, which is the 4th canto, over 100 times. So God has heard, Lord Krishna in the form of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu has heard, the pastimes of Prahlad Maharaj and Dhruva Maharaj 100 times, at least 100 times. So how many times, we should be reading that and hearing about it. So once when he was hearing this from Gadadhar Pandit, he was actually in that meditative mood, and he was digging that garden, the earth with his hand. And then as he was digging it deeper and deeper and deeper, this beautiful deity of Gopinath was excavated. It's a self-manifested deity. So he was getting it. And at that time he asked Gadadhar Pandit, are you ready to worship Lord Krishna in the form of Gopinath? And Gadadhar Pandit was so happy. So that deity was taken and the temple was built right there. And then Gadadhar Pandit started worshipping this beautiful deity of Lord Krishna in the form of Gopinath. But Lord Krishna is in this form, of standing and playing the flute. But if you see, if you go to Tota Gopinath temple, it's miraculous, because this is the only deity where Lord Krishna is actually sitting and playing his flute. So you can see Lord Krishna playing his flute, and to his right, Lalita is playing the flute, and to his left, Srimati Radharani is playing veena. It's beautiful, deities there. But so this form of Lord Krishna in the form of Tota Gopinath was worshipped by Gadadhar Pandit for many, many years. And it is said that he became very old, and when he was so old, he could not actually garland the deity on a daily basis because he had back problem. He could not stand up and do this. So he asked one of the Brahmins, "Can you please take on the service of garlanding the deity?" So that night, Tota Gopinath appeared in the dream of Gadadhar Pandit, and he said, "Why are you not offering garland to me? Why are you stopping your service?" He said, "No, the overall service is not stopped because someone else is going to do, not me." He said, "No, I want you to do the service because our acharyas also teach us that whenever we are doing, the Lord likes the uniqueness of of what we do." So Lord Krishna said in the form of Gopinath, "No, I want you to do this. If your problem is just my height, because I'm standing and playing the flute and you can't reach my neck to garland me, don't worry, I will sit down." And miraculously, the deity started sitting down, and from then on, Lord is sitting down and playing the flute, for those of you who've been there. So again, lot of sweet exchanges. So this is how Tota Gopinath, not far from Jagannath Puri temple, is actually sitting down and playing the flute. And if you come, there is also another, we just get into the closeness, very close to Jagannath Puri temple, and get into the pastimes inside the temple as well. So there is another famous temple of Hanuman. Hanuman temple is there. He's referred to as Bedi Hanuman, and that's because his leg is tied. And actually, there's a beautiful pastime associated with this Hanuman temple as well. And it is said that this happened in Treta Yuga, because this temple, Jagannath Puri temple, never gets destroyed at any time. So that's that's what the scriptures teach us. And during the Treta Yuga, it is said the father-in-law of Lord Jagannath. Again, we're hearing the sweet exchanges between the Lord and the devotees, right? So who's the father-in-law of Lord Jagannath? So father-in-law of Lord Jagannath is Varuna. And how is he the father-in-law? Because Lakshmi Devi appeared during the churning of ocean of milk. It's a pastime, but she appeared from the churning of ocean of milk. And personality in charge for all this is Varuna. So Varuna periodically comes and takes the blessings of Lord Jagannath. So when he comes to take the blessings of Lord Jagannath in Jagannath Puri, what happens? Inadvertently, there is flooding because the seawater comes in during the hurricane season, and all the devotees worship the Lord. My dear Lord, this water problem is a big problem. The sea is coming inside and destroying all our homes. So please protect us. So immediately Lord Jagannath said, "Don't worry." And he called Hanuman because he's a strong personality. And he said, "My dear Hanuman, so you are going to be in charge. Ensure that my father-in-law doesn't come all the time. When he comes in, he creates problem for the devotee. So you make sure that he doesn't come in, so that the water is not coming into the temple, towards the temple. Therefore, nobody should be impacted by this." So Hanuman said, "No problem, I'll take care of it." And he was taking care. And they were giving him puffed rice and jaggery because he likes that. But somehow it is said that he likes laddus, and his favorite laddu is given to him by Lord Ramachandra. So Lord Ramachandra is in Ayodhya. So one day he had this, urge to eat that laddu and, of course, get the blessings of Lord Ramachandra. So he immediately went from Jagannath Puri to Ayodhya. And at this point in time, there was this opportunity for the seawater to come in, Varuna to come in. Therefore, a lot of houses were devastated. And then when Hanuman came back, he was feeling bad that this had happened. So at that point in time, Lord Jagannath said, "I asked you to take care of everybody, but you did not. So from now on, because you went for the laddu, the devotees will give you laddu every day, and you're not going to move from this place. And just to make sure that you are there all the time to protect the devotees of Jagannath Puri, you're going to make sure that you don't go anywhere from here." And so symbolically, there is a chain or like a rope that is tied from his feet to a big ball of like a rock or iron ball that is tied, so that he doesn't go. So that is for the protection of the devotees. Again, these are all sweet exchanges. So that's with regard to the Bedi Hanuman temple, that is very close to Jagannath Puri temple. So and coming closer to Jagannath Puri temple are actually within the Jagannath Puri temple itself. In the Simhadwara, there are many entrances. This Lion's Gate entrance, for those of you who've been there, there is this huge deity of Lord Jagannath, right outside. So, as not everybody can go inside the temple and take darshan, and that's why Lord comes outside during Rath Yatra, because not everybody is allowed inside. So he's so merciful. He comes outside so that people who cannot even go inside and take his darshan, at least once a year they can take darshan when he comes out for this Rath Yatra. However, all the time, anybody can take darshan of this Patita Pavan Jagannath, who's right outside, the Lions Gate, Simhadwara. When you go, you see this Jagannath there. So Jagannath, Baladev, and Subhadra are made, they manifest themselves from the neem tree or neem wood. But here, Patita Pavan Jagannath is not made of wood. He's made of frankincense, sandalwood paste, musk, and camphor, and scented oils as well. So this is also manifested by himself first time, and there is a fascinating a pastime associated with it. There is one pastime that says that Chaitanya Mahaprabhu manifested as this Patita Pavan Jagannath, so that Haridas Thakur can always worship the Lord from the Arunastamba. Arunastamba is the pillar, Aruna pillar, which is close to the Simhadwara. So from there, he can, and anyone can see this Patita Pavan Jagannath. But also there is another pastime. There was this Muslim personality by the name of Salah Beg, and he was so desperate because he was hearing more and more of these wonderful pastimes of Lord Jagannath. He wanted to see the Lord, at that moment in time, not wait for this Jagannath Rath Yatra, Puri Rath Yatra for the Lordship to come. He was so desperate for the Lord to come, and therefore he was rolling in the ground and he was worshipping the Lord, praying to the Lord. And it is said at that point in time, the Lord appeared in the form of this Patita Pavana Jagannath, which is there even today. All of us can, many of you would have seen the video clipping where Arati is shown to Patita Pavan Jagannath a couple of days ago, when actual Rath Yatra started on 23rd of June, few days ago. And it is said this Muslim personality by the name of Salah Beg is the one who actually penned down Patita Pavana Ashtakam. There is this famous Ashtakam, 8 verses, and that is actually penned down by Salah Beg. And it's in the Simhadwara. That is where he actually composed this. So again, another beautiful pastime, the sweet exchanges between the Lord and the devotee. So more we hear, our faith increases, and because our faith increases, then we become fearless. That is the most important. So more we hear, hearing causes eventual association. Through attraction, absorption, we are eventually able to associate with the Lord as well. And we just heard about this Arunastamba, the pillar of Aruna, which is right outside the Jagannath Puri temple, Simhadwara entrance. But also inside the temple, there is another stamba, which is called as Garuda Stamba, another pillar called Garuda Stamba. And from the scriptures we read, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu used to put his hand there and he used to take darshan of Jagannath Baladev Subhadra, which is a little far away because many of us can go much closer to Jagannath Baladev Subhadra deities in Jagannath, but Chaitanya Mahaprabhu stood far away, and then he was holding that Garuda Stamba and taking the darshan of the Lord. So once Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Goswami Maharaj, he's the spiritual master of ISKCON founder Acharya A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. So once he took a lot of devotees, many devotees to Jagannath Puri, and everybody went inside. They saw Jagannath Baladev Subhadra, they took the darshan, got the mercy, and when they came out, Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Goswami Maharaj asked all of them, "Did you take darshan of the Lord?" And obviously their answer was, "Yes, we took darshan of the Lord." And it is said that Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Goswami Maharaj said that it is not that important that you take darshan of the Lord. More important is Lord seeing you. So you seeing the Lord is one thing, but Lord seeing you is more important. So don't just rush to the front of the deities and trying to see. You take the vantage position which will allow the Lord to see you. You have a chance of being seen by the Lord. And he said Jagannath is the drishta, the seer, whereas we are drishya, the seen. That's how it is supposed to be. So he said all of you have a better chance of being seen if you are near Garuda, because Garuda is a great devotee of the Lord, and Krishna says he's not different. So when Jagannath is seeing, he's got a better, he's going to look at Garuda for sure, whether he looks at anyone else or not. And because we are standing next to Garuda, there is a chance that the Lord will be able to see all of you. So that's the instruction from Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Goswami Maharaj. So this is very important, significant instruction for all of us. It's not it's not whether we are seeing the Lord. It's more important is for Lord to see. Of course, Lord will see everything, but then if you are more devoted, if you are next to a great devotee, then the chances of us being seen by the Lord is very high. So that's the beautiful pastime of Patita Pavan Jagannath, and also about how to see the Lord, or more importantly, how Lord will see us. What are the chances of Lord seeing us as well? And within the temple of Jagannath, there we hear about wonderful pastimes, several pastimes, of great devotees. So one of the books that you can read is it's this Sri Jagannath and the pastimes of the Lord of Universe. So there are many books. So I'm just referring to many of these pastimes. So this is another book here. So this is Jagannath Puri guidebook by Mahanidhi Swami, and then this is Jai Jagannath, the culture and worship of Lord Jagannath. So beautiful books are there. It's very easy reading, no difficult Sanskrit. It's all in English. You can read, and many of the pastimes that I'm narrating today are all from these wonderful books. So there was this great devotee by the name of Padma. And this was many years ago. We're not talking about millions of years ago. We're not talking about thousands of years ago. These were all, maybe a few hundreds of years ago, or even later. So this great devotee, Padma, she used to sing. She had a very melodious voice, it is said, and she used to sing this beautiful Gita Govinda that was penned down by Jaidev Goswami. And she used to sing it so melodiously. And when she was singing, she's a farmer's daughter. So this farmer had, he was growing a lot of brinjals. Okay? And and for those of you who have, who have grown brinjals in the backyard during summer, even in Toronto, you know that there are thorns. Okay? So just imagine this is a big, you can say agricultural place where there were nothing but brinjals were there. So there's a lot of thorns. You got to be really careful. So which is eggplant. What we mean is eggplant. So there are a lot of thorns there. So this girl was singing this, beautiful melodious Gita Govinda by Jaidev Goswami, and she was picking this eggplant. And as she was picking this eggplant, Lord Jagannath, it is said that he could not resist being inside the temple. He had to come close to this young girl, Padma, who was singing so melodiously. So he was following her. Of course, she couldn't see. He was following her behind her wherever she was going to pick all this eggplant. And then it is said that his dhoti, Jagannath's dhoti, got caught in these thorns, and they were tearing in different parts. And the chadar that he was wearing got caught in a thorn, and it slipped out as well. So he was following her, and after this whole Gita Govinda was sung, then Lord Jagannath went back to the Jagannath Puri temple. Next day morning, when all these pandas and these priests actually came to dress up the Lord, and they saw something bad. It's very bad omen, because the dhoti of Lord Jagannath is torn in many places, and the cloth that he was wearing on top is totally gone missing. So again, they were meditating, and then they always bring anything that is not normal to the attention of the king. And the king was taken aback, and he thought it was a big mistake or offense that he has committed. So he started fasting and worshiping the Lord. And again, the Lord appeared in the dream, and he said, no, there's nothing to worry. I went to hear this melodious Gita Govinda being sung by this beautiful young girl, Padma. And every day I plan on going from now on. If the other option is, if you want me to stay here and not tear my dhoti, etc., then you bring that girl every day and arrange for them to come here and for her to sing every day. And it is said that the king actually engraved this order in a stone, and it is said that even today, Gita Govinda is being sung, because Padma is no longer there, but in the family tradition, this Gita Govinda is being sung even today, every day. So that's a beautiful pastime. Again, we are discussing about Lord Jagannath, Lord of sweet exchanges. And this is one of the fascinating pastimes and the glories of actually Gita Govinda by Jaidev Goswami. So you can see that, you can read that from many places as well. So there are books that you can get to read this Gita Govinda. And another great devotee, his name was Baligram Das. He was a very poor merchant. You would have heard this, but it's so good to hear these pastimes to keep our faith going. So this Baligram Dasya was a poor cloth merchant. So it is said that one day he took 40 ripe mangoes, and he went to a Jagannath temple, and he was trying to go inside the temple to offer. At that time, the panda stopped. No, you can't go. You're not a Brahmin. You cannot offer this to the Lord. So you please give it to us. We'll take it. So at that point in time, this Baligram Dasya said, no, I'm not giving it to you. I would like to offer myself. They started laughing. How are you going to offer? We're not going to allow you inside. What do you think? Who do you think you are? You think you're going to offer from here and the Lord will take it? He said, yeah. So it is said, again, very beautiful details are given in these, in these books. So he put his hand out, and with 2 ripe mangoes. So now he's got 38 inside the basket. He had 40, he takes 2. And all he did was meditate on the chakra, which is at the top of Jagannath Puri temple. As we know, it's 11.8 feet tall, and it's got 8 spokes, right? So he meditated on this Nila chakra, and then immediately the 2 ripe, fragrant mangoes disappeared from his hand. And these pandas were taken aback. What is going on here? So maybe this person is a magician. So he's doing some sort of black magic. Then next 2 he took. So now there's 36 more there. He took. Again, he put his hand out, meditated, looking at the chakra, Sudarshan chakra at the top of the temple. And then two more went away. So he's got 36. So 2 at a time, everything became 0. And then these pandas were saying, something, you're doing some sort of magic. That's okay. So, and then at that point in time, Baligram Dasya said, that's okay. If you don't believe me, go inside and see. So these pandas ran inside, and they saw 40 seeds of mango lying there, with the skin of the mango also lying everywhere, to confirm that Lord Jagannath took this offering because it was offered with love and devotion. Doesn't matter who this person is, what caste is he coming from. So there is no judgment on part of the Lord. There is no prerequisite or qualification, just the love and devotion. Krishna says, Patram Pushpam Palam Toim, as we know, 9.26. So here, with love and devotion, fruit is offered. In fact, 40 fruits were offered, the mangoes, and all of them were wonderfully accepted by Lord Jagannath. And it is said, once he wanted to offer coconut, the same Baligram Das, he wanted to offer coconut, and he could not go to Jagannath Puri temple. So his neighbor was a Brahmin, he was going. So what did he do? My dear friend, can you please take this coconut with you and offer it to Lord Jagannath? So this Brahmin saw him up and down. Okay, what do I do? Yeah, so all you have to do is go to this Garuda Stamba and stand and put both hands together and keep the coconut, and you say, my dear Lord Jagannath, this is given by Baligram Dasya. He asked me to offer it to you. If you would like to take it, please take it. If you don't take it, no problem. I'll take it back and give it to Baligram Dasya. That was the instruction that was given to this Brahmana. And this Brahmana went there. He did not have any faith. He was laughing and thinking, what a great personality the Lord is going to take just because I tell him. And then he did the same, and it is said this long pair of outstretched hand, he said in geometry, parallel lines don't meet, it's unlimited. So the Lord accepted that coconut, and at that time he fainted, this Brahmana fainted, and he was thinking how fortunate he is, because the Lord took the offering personally from him, even though the coconut was given to him by this cloth merchant Baligram Dasya, and how fortunate that his entire family generation up and down have all been blessed because of this unique opportunity that was given by this cloth merchant Baligram Dasya. So there are unlimited pastimes, sweet pastimes of Lord Jagannath. And there are also, there is another devotee by the name of Raghudas. This is very famous devotee, many of you would have known. And he's actually a devotee of Lord Ramachandra. So he was worshipping Lord Ramachandra, but all of a sudden when he went to Jagannath Puri temple, there was Jagannath, Baladev, and Subhadra, but what he saw was Lord Ramachandra. Then he saw Lakshman, and he saw Sita. Then he realized there's no difference between Jagannath and Lord Ramachandra, and immediately he became a great devotee of Lord Jagannath. And it is said that once he made a beautiful garland. Remember, Krishna says, Patram Pushpam Palam Toim, flower. We talked about fruit. These past times talked about fruit. Now he's talking about flower. So he made a beautiful flower garland, but he made it with the bark of banana tree. And it is said at that time, the banana, if you make that string with banana tree, from the bark of the banana tree, it is supposed to be impure. So when he gave it to the pandas to offer, they said, no, we cannot offer this. This is very impure. And so they said, no, you take it back. We cannot offer. So he took it back with so much of love and devotion. He actually made that garland. He went and he started crying. He did not sleep. He did not eat. And then it is said, every night, these pandas actually decorate the Lord. There is a special process they follow, and this is called as Bada Shringar Vesha. So this Bada Shringar Vesha is where they sort of place different flowers in different parts of the body of Lord Jagannath, Baladev, and Subhadra. But it is said none of these flowers, which used to be easily seated there, where all of them were just falling down. Doesn't matter whatever they try to put, anything that they try to force to keep this flower in its place during this Bada Shringar Vesha, none of them were in place. So again, we heard, they all of them meditated. They were thinking that yes, they made a mistake, and then Jagannath appeared, and he said that's because this great devotee with so much of love and affection made this garland, but you rejected that because it is made from the bark of a banana tree. So I want you to go get that garland. So immediately they ran, fell at his feet, got the garland, and they offered it. And then this Bada Shringar Vesha was no problem, because the flowers, individual flowers that were placed, were standing in their position without any problem. So, many wonderful pastimes. We can go this unlimited. Lord is unlimited. Therefore, Lord's pastimes are unlimited as well. So maybe we'll take a couple of more pastimes. If there are any questions or comments, you can enter them in the Facebook comments page, and then we will try to address them. And so another pastime about the same Raghudas is that because the Lord is so close, he reciprocates with sincere devotees, pure devotees so well. So it is said that once Lord Jagannath came to this Raghudas, and he said, my dear Raghudas, let's go and actually steal something. I said, what? Why do we steal anything? Yeah, I want to eat jackfruit, and I want to go and steal the jackfruit from the king's garden, and I want to eat. So this Raghudas said, my dear Lord, you're the Lord of the universe. Jagannath is Lord of the universe. You want anything, you can get anything. So why would you steal? So Lord Jagannath said, my father, he had Nanda Maharaj had 900,000 cows. Still, there is, when I steal the butter from Gopi's house, it tastes better rather than having it from my own house. So I like to steal this jackfruit and eat. So you and I will be partner in crime. So we go to that to the king's garden in the night. So you go up, take the jackfruit and throw it to me. I'll be down. I'll be catching it, and then we can enjoy the jackfruit. Sure. So what can he say? The Lord is saying, let's go. So he goes up, and then he throws, and then next minute, all he sees is nobody there. Jagannath had vanished back to the temple. The jackfruit fell down with a big thud, and then the watchmen, all of them came running in the dark of the night. They took a lantern, and what's going on? By nature, the jackfruit fell, or what happened? Then they found this Raghudas sitting on top of the tree, trying to, not knowing what to do, because he's got red-handed. And then they bring him to the king, and the king knows the glories of Raghudas. He's saying, my dear Raghudas, what do you want? Whatever you want, I could have sent it to you. Why do you have to come in the night, struggle, and try to... Then Raghudas narrated the whole incident, and it was so pleasurable to all the devotees to hear the closeness of Raghudas with Jagannath, Lord Jagannath. And it is also said once, Jagannath, when the parade was going on, for 3 full days, Lord Jagannath's chariot got stuck in one place, and then the Britishers tried to bring an elephant to pull the chariot. Nothing doing. It got stuck there. It didn't move. So finally, the great priest that they knew the potency of Raghudas. So they came to Raghudas and they said, "Can you please talk to Jagannath and ask him if he can move?" So everybody saw. He went and spoke close to the so-called ear of Jagannath, and immediately Lord Jagannath started moving. The chariot started moving. So great glories of this Raghudas. Many wonderful pastimes about Lord Jagannath as well. So we have a few more minutes. If you have any questions, if there are no questions, then we can continue. So the question is, why the unfinished fingers and toes along with his brother? So again, for those of you who joined us from the beginning, it looked like it's an incomplete form. So we covered this, where it is actually the complete form where Lord Krishna and Lord Balaram and Subhadra were in ecstasy when they were hearing the pastimes of Lord Krishna and them in Vrindavan. So they go into this ecstasy where it's like a tortoise pulling all the limbs inside when they were hearing about them. So when Mother Rohini, Balaram's mother, was explaining to the 16,108 queens, they go into ecstasy. And that's why initially the 16,108 queens were asking, something glorious should be about the pastimes of Lord Krishna in Gokul, Vrindavan, Mathura, etc. So we were not there physically, but we were hearing all that. So we want to hear that from the first hand. We want the first hand information from Mother Rohini. And it is said that it's a complete form. So we know when Vishwakarma was actually constructing Lord Jagannath, Baladev and Subhadra, it looked like it is incomplete because 15 days there was no sound when he wanted 21 days to be left alone. But it beautifully matches the actual. So what Vishwakarma was doing, actually it was Krishna was doing by pulling out or by manifesting Jagannath, Baladev and Subhadra from this neem wood, was actually the actual form of Krishna, Balaram and Subhadra when they were hearing the pastimes of Lord Krishna in Dwaraka, because this was happening many years later in Dwaraka, and it is said in ecstasy they manifested that form. And Narada Muni was so excited when he saw, I've seen it, and he wanted everyone like you and me to see this wonderful form. And by the mercy of the Lord, this form is manifested in Jagannath Puri, and by the mercy of His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada, we are all able to worship not only in Jagannath Puri, but we are able to worship Jagannath, Baladev and Subhadra right here in all our ISKCON temples as well. And we are able to participate in the Rath Yatra, even though this year, because of COVID-19, we are unable to take part in the actual Rath Yatra, this beautiful 2-day event that we have, where we have it in Center Island, walk along to this Young Street, the world famous Young Street. We're going to have this wonderful, virtual class, virtual actually programs from July 1st to July 12th, and especially the 5th of July is going to be Snan Yatra, and there's going to be programs every day in the evening, and especially during the weekends is going to be a full day event as well. So hopefully that answered the question, and maybe we will wrap it up with one more question. So there is some more question. So there are a few more questions that are coming through. So there are a few more questions that are coming through that we'll try to answer as well. So there's a lot of messages. So give me a minute as we go through. So hopefully we will answer some of the questions that are coming through. But anyways, we want to narrate one more pastime, and we'll see whether we can review some of these questions as well. So one is, some of you had asked this earlier about Pundarik Vidyanidhi, and you also asked about Ramanujacharya, the correlation between Ramanujacharya. So this Pundarik Vidyanidhi pastime, because we're talking about Lord of Sweet Exchanges. So Pundarik Vidyanidhi is none other than Vrishabhanu. So he's the father of Srimati Radharani in in the previous yuga, but he appeared as Pundarik Vidyanidhi, and he and Swarup Damodar, they went, and in Puri there was Odana Shashti festival where they offered this starched clothing. And according to Pundarik Vidyanidhi, he said, it's very impure to offer starched clothing to the Lord. Therefore, that is not right. So he was thinking about it, and he went to sleep. And it is said Lord Krishna in the form of, Lord Krishna in the form of Jagannath, or Lord Jagannath in the form of Lord Krishna, and Baladev in the form of Lord Balaram, they came and they slapped Pundarik Vidyanidhi so much. Now, for those of you who are interested, it's a fascinating pastime. So please read Chaitanya Bhagavat, Antya Kanta. So, it's not Antya Leela like Chaitanya Charitamrita. In Chaitanya Bhagavat, it is said as Antya Kanta. And it is said that in the last chapter, the 10th chapter, it is said how Lord Krishna slapped, technically it's a father-in-law, right? Pundarik Vidyanidhi, because he's Vrishabhanu. He got slapped, and next day morning, there was so much of swelling in the cheeks, and the ring marks of Lord Krishna and Balaram were in his cheeks. And it is said that Swarup Damodar was actually seeing all these marks in the face, because Lord Krishna, in the form of Lord Jagannath, does not want to change things around. So whatever is the process that is being followed by the devotees, he wants that to continue. So that was a lesson for Pundarik Vidyanidhi. And also it is said that Sri Sampradaya's Ramanujacharya, he went and he said, the worship is not in awe and reverence like how it has to be conducted like Lord Vishnu, and therefore you have to change the whole process. And next day morning, the king was about to implement the change according to Ramanujacharya's wishes, and all the Pandas were all worried. Why would we change this? We've been doing this for thousands and thousands of years. And it is said next day morning, when they were waiting for Ramanujacharya to come and make this change, Ramanujacharya was missing. Nobody was able to see him. So they continued the original process, or the existing process. And the king went, searching, and he asked many people to search. And it is said that overnight, Lord Jagannath transported Ramanujacharya to Kurmakshetra. Kurmakshetra is in Andhra Pradesh, so which is 300 kilometers from Jagannath Puri. Overnight, he was transported there, saying, don't worry, whatever process is being followed will continue to be held here as well. So Lord Jagannath likes to have the process continue, that is, devotees lovingly perform. So we heard about when they're not from the higher caste, does not matter if they want to offer banana, if they want to offer coconut, if they want to offer garland that is made of, does not matter, from bark of banana tree or anything, the Lord accepts it with love and devotion. So with that, we will conclude today's class. And I would like to, so I think one of the questions maybe was how often the Lord is fed in Jagannath Puri. So it is said that the Lord is fed 6 times every day in Jagannath Puri, but the number of offerings are enormous, as we know. So it is said that 6 times. And for those of you who've been to Jagannath Puri, if you go there, you'll know how in Ananda Bazaar you get the most tasty prasad ever, Mahaprasad ever. So it is beautifully packaged in this mud pot, and the taste is just unbelievable. As you know, they don't use potatoes, they don't use, forget about onion and garlic, they don't use potatoes and tomatoes as well, because it is said if it is grown underneath the ground, or if it is not part of original vegetables from India, they don't use it. But you will not know any difference in the taste as well. So again, it's a reminder. This is a teaser again for all of you to get the reminder about the glories of Lord Jagannath and the sweet exchanges with devotees that we read from wonderful books which I just shared with you. And just a reminder that from July 1st to July 12th, we have virtual Rath Yatra here at ISKCON Toronto. And for all the events, we would encourage you to go to the website, ISKCON Toronto website, and for you to understand and know, so that you can participate on a daily basis. As we said, during the weekdays also there are programs in the evenings. Weekends there is whole day event as well, and great personalities will be giving classes as well, who've been lined up already. So please stand by for more information. On behalf of ISKCON Toronto, I would like to thank you for giving us your valuable time and association. And we will conclude this again, with that 1 minute video that we saw in the beginning of today's class about this upcoming virtual Rath Yatra. So we'll conclude that with the same video as well for those of you who missed it. Hare Krishna, Srila Prabhupada ki jai.
Are you coming?
You never know.
I doubt.
Are you coming?
Doesn't look like it.
Is it happening this year?
I don't know.
I don't know.
I don't know, man.
I don't know.
I feel so uncertain.